Hello Physical Fiends, it's Jordan here with some end of year discounts. They're going to be over soon, I believe in the first few days of January, so I want to give you a heads up about some other choices that have caught my eye. Firstly, starting with VGP, I do advise you checking the full list linked below in the description because, as always, they have more than 1,000 games discounted, and I'm focusing on games I've not talked about before, or at least not recently, or maybe games you may have not heard of or considered. I don't like repeating myself, nor stating the obvious. Any purchase made via the links in the description massively helps support me and this channel, so thank you ever so much. Curse of the Sea Rats on Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 5 is $14 On PS4, it's $10 which is a very cheap price for a pretty decent Metroidvania, which I hadn't realized it was a Metroidvania until I started researching my upcoming video about physical Metroidvania games. Reviews aren't universally acclaimed, but it's a game that tries something a little bit different. Return to Monkey Island is a fantastic $28 American on Nintendo Switch, which is a great price, not just against their normal retail listing, but even compared to eBay, where people are asking for like $50 for this thing. Many consider it to be a great return to form for the series and a very solid adventure game, even if the art style was a bit divisive. I get it, but the series has never had a unified art style anyways, they're always a bit different. Exophobia is a pretty recent game, only been out a couple of months, but it's already down to $24 on Switch and PS4. It's what one may describe as a boomer shooter, a fast-paced FPS with a pixel presentation. It looks great, reviews are very positive for it, and to get it a discount already, a good price, very nice. It's worth noting that this only released physically in North America, so some of you Europeans watching may want to grab it and import it for this price. Girl Genius Adventures in Castle Heterodyne looks like it could be a fun 3D action adventure game. I've always wanted to try it myself, even though I'd never heard of the source material prior to this game. It looks like a simple, old school time, and for $21 on Nintendo Switch, it's a good price to me. Marble It Up Ultra is a rather unique game, especially physically. Colorful, crazy mix of Marble Madness and Super Monkey Ball. This only released physically in North America, and I think $24 is a good price for a very positively received game on Nintendo Switch. It's better than having another roguelike deck builder. Senran Kagura Peach Ball is another North American exclusive for Nintendo Switch, which surprised me since usually they tend to avoid the lewd cultured games, and this is exactly that. Blasting pinballs against thighs and other pleasant bodily parts. It's $24 at VGP, although it does just make me want to have the proper Senran Kagura games on the Switch. Like, they were fun beat 'em ups on the 3DS, why can't we have them on the Switch? Celestia Chain of Fate hasn't been out very long, only a few months, but this Nintendo Switch Otome is already discounted to $28, which is a very good price if you're into the genre. I don't know if this one is considered good since reviews are very thin on the ground, but it's actually made in Indonesia rather than Japan, so who knows. Sega Genesis Classics has been delisted from the eShop and every other digital store for that matter, and the Switch Physical did actually go out of stock originally, but VGP managed to order more, with it arriving sometime in January, and it's still discounted at $21 if you pre-order the back order. Great price for 50 Mega Drive games. If the rumors are true about Sega working on a subscription service, then this may be the last time we see a physical ownership of these particular games. Who knows? Raiden 3 Cross Mikado Maniax Deluxe Edition is a really good shooter. Okay, it's a bit old and maybe not as revered as some of its peers. I think the Raiden series is often touted as like a B-tier shmup franchise, but there's no denying that $21 for a solid revamped shooter on Nintendo Switch with a new soundtrack is a good deal in my eyes. Saga of Sins. This is a rather cheap price. Both Switch and PS5 are $14, and it's a unique looking game that's going for a stained glass window art style with the amount of animation you'd expect from Walking Glass. Perhaps a bit stiff and short, but enough about me. It's supposed to be an okay game, a little unpolished, but I think $14 is a decent price to try it out. Pigeon Dev Games Collection. Yes, premium edition games. Their release at VGP is just $21 US. This was one of their first games, and it's a quad pack. I think of, simple indie games inspired by the NES era. Pretty fun. Perhaps ill-advised is one of their first releases for the asking price, but $21, you do get a really nice package. Eiyuden Chronicle 100 Heroes is back and discounted on Nintendo Switch for 30 United States bucks. Every time I've mentioned this in a discounts video, it ends up selling out in about 5 seconds after publishing the video. But I'm trying again. Okay, I'm trying again. I'm sorry if it does sell out. On PS5, it's also back in stock and even cheaper, $31 US. And that is probably the best place to play it because of, performance and stuff like that. That's the best option unless you don't have a PS5. Adventure Academia: The Fractured Continent is often found on sale. I've mentioned it in previous years, but I don't think I brought it up this year in this year's sales. But I think $14 US is hard to say no to. I know it's not massively well regarded as a real-time strategy game, but I would give it a shot for that price. Unto the End may take your fancy on Nintendo Switch at $17 US, because if you watch my delisted from the eShop video, you'll know that this is on there. You cannot purchase this game from the eShop anymore. The only way to purchase it on Nintendo Switch is via the physical release, which is a good price now. Probably the best it'll be from now on. It was only released in Europe. Warlock something, I didn't write it in my script, it's Warlock something, is in a similar situation in the fact it's a game that's been delisted from the eShop, but the physical is still readily available for the moment, and VGP have it discounted to $21 US. This game did get mixed reviews. I haven't played it personally, but if you want to add it to your collection, now is probably a better time than any. And once again, it's a European-only release. There is no North American version. VGP just imported the PEGI versions for North Americans to get more easily. NASCAR Rivals is another similar situation. This game is, or very soon will be, delisted from all digital stores. So if you want to purchase it, the Switch physical will be the only way to go from now on. And at $14 US, that's not a bad price to jump on board if you care about preservation. I wouldn't say it's a huge loss, but if you're a major collector, it's probably the time to pick it up now. Strife Veteran Edition was distributed by Limited Run Games in North America and is currently the only physical version available, but it is discounted to a very tempting $21 US. It's another boomer shooter, but this time it's legit since it's actually from the mid-90s. Unlike most of the era, this adds in some RPG elements like talking to NPCs. That sounds cool. Dariusburst EX Plus, another Chronicle, may have a dumb name, but the price is not dumb at $21 US on Nintendo Switch. Don't bother waiting for the Pro 2 Awakening Remaster Extra Snazzy Edition, it's not coming. There's only the EX Plus Another Chronicle, okay? And it's just a really solid shooter, as you'd expect from the Darius series, and I believe it's the latest game in the series as well. Alright, PNP. I have just started using PNP for an affiliate partnership. They're kind of comparable to VGP, but the shipping is slightly different. They have a cheaper free shipping threshold, but only for Canada and the USA. It's not worldwide. Anyways, they've got a good few deals that have caught my eye just very quickly. Jedi Knight Collection on Nintendo Switch is $14 US. That is a fantastic deal for two excellent retro Star Wars titles. I really enjoyed both of these when I did my giant Star Wars retrospective over on my other channel, A Bit More Jordan, so you're getting them at $7 a pop, which is borderline criminal behavior. Fantastic action games. 2 Point Campus on Nintendo Switch is $14 US, and this is the launch edition with the extras. Yeah, it was often found cheap, but this is the cheapest I've seen it on Nintendo Switch and still be in stock. Really good price if you like management games with humor. Ring Fit Adventure. Yeah, one of the best-selling Switch games, one of the best-selling fitness games ever, is down to $35, and it includes a peripheral as well. I don't know if this is eligible for free shipping or not. It's a bit of a chunker, and perhaps that could jack up the price to non-deal territory, but if you do live in Canada or the US of A, it seems like, worth a look, especially if you put on a few pounds over the Christmas period like myself. And there we have some discounts. Maybe the last of the year, I don't know. But maybe don't hang around with the choices now. You can't shirk responsibility forever. Choose! Any purchase made via the links in the description massively helps support me, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Take care.